Crowbot coming at you once again. I wanted to have a discussion about something really quick. So, I think I've shown you this before. But down here in the bottom, I'm kind of partial to using the bots that people get when they're at the bottom. I also have on my other account a Bushi and a Viking and a Ronin and a Shinobi. And they're all very powerful robots that really don't belong at the bottom. I think that as soon as one of my opinions regarding this game is that as soon as you get a bot that costs the $39.90, 4,000 gold for the drone or the modules, that should put you out of the bottom level. The bottom level should be restricted to just what you see here. Basically, there's no premium bots on this account. I don't plan on putting any on it. I do have something I'm going to do that's kind of unique with this account here pretty soon. I'm almost ready to break that, but not yet. This is what you should be playing with in the tier 1, what I've been calling tier 0. I'm going to go with Jellyfish's numerical scheming. It's not what everybody else does. There was always 4 tiers, and the top one was always 4. That's why I added a 0 at the bottom. It's still going to be confusing, but I'm just going to start going with 1 through 5. So now you know, and I'll probably keep saying that because other people don't know. Anyway, let's throw down a match here while I talk about this. I had a match earlier where I dropped into the match and I'm just getting ready to do something. Maybe I'd gotten the middle flag. It was the hill on one side and the town on the other. And I grabbed the center flag and I was backing out. And just as I was backing out, I saw an invisible bot go in. And it popped up on the top of the hill. And I saw the outline of an invisible Bushi. And then it came visible and I saw exactly what it was. And so I stepped up on a rock on the back of the hill and just kind of stood there for a second, targeting this Bushi, and so I started shooting him in the back. I was kind of annoyed by this Bushi being in the bottom pond. It's like, this is where the guppies hang out. This is where the new people hang out. Don't be bringing that bot down here. If you're going to drop in this pond, at least do it in a bot that is the lower ones I was just showing you. You know, it's sort of an etiquette thing, really. I mean, you can do it, sure, but you're, in my opinion, not a good pilot. If you have to use that kind of robot down here, you're not a good pilot. Challenge yourself. Don't do that. I mean, I've done it before, but I don't get any satisfaction out of it. How are you going to get any satisfaction out of such an easy win? You can't lose in a bot like that unless somebody on the other team drops in one, which is on my other account. I'll do that. I don't know why this match is not starting yet. More time for me to talk, right? Anywho, so the whole match, I'm basically playing zoomed in target practice through the scope. Every time he'd dash, I'd try and zero in on him and shoot him in the back real quick. And I had my long range, whatchamacallit. I don't know why this has to happen. How far into this are we? 3 minutes in and I still can't. I don't know what it's doing. There we go. Maybe it'll zip on through. Anyway, the whole match, I'm like shooting him in the back, and he's off in the distance doing his thing, shooting the enemy. And I'm like, he doesn't need my help to win. He's going to win easily. And he did win easily. It didn't take him hardly but 3 minutes to wipe everybody out and be done with it. And I came in bottom score. In fact, I should go in and show that one to you because I was totally at the bottom with, I don't know, 116,000 damage or something. That might not even been that much. At some point, though, when I was shooting him, he had gotten down to like there was one guy left, and he was waiting for him to drop in. So he turns towards me, and he's halfway across the thing, and he dashes 3 or 4 times, and he zips over to me, and just starts. And it's funny because I'm watching him. I'm all zoomed in on the scope. Oh, well, I'm overextending myself a little bit there. He's all zoomed in on the scope, and he starts dashing straight towards me. And I just, every time he comes visible, I can just see him a little closer. It was sort of like this fun cartoon. Anyway, so he gets right up to me, and I zoom out, and he's just right in front of me, and he starts shooting me. So I start shooting him back. I'm just like, what you're doing is unacceptable to me. So, A, I'm not going to help you win, because you don't need my help. And 2, I'm gonna use you for target practice so that I can practice my zoomed in targeting. Nope, he's behind something. That was very smart. So I was like this, and I just, every time he'd dash somewhere, I'd just, you know, retarget him, and I was targeting him with these. So let me see if I can give you an example here. Yeah, like this. So like that. And these things, they refresh fast enough. You can shoot one every few seconds. I just had to get down to us so quick. That's crazy. Huh. Feeling like I'm in jail. That was another story I was going to tell a minute ago. Or I was going to tell while I'm telling this stuff. Is that jail is, it's not, because there's other humans. I must have just come in way late or something. Who's that? Yeah, I played him recently. Let's see if I can do a dash jump. Nope. I can't go in like this. Banshee. Is that the name? Oh, pretty good pilot. Knows how to use cover and stuff. I didn't ask to shoot at him though. Alright, what the hell was I talking about? Something involving players and Bushis coming way down here. There's no challenge. I don't consider you to be a good pilot if you're going to do that kind of thing. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to block all your shots there. That was very rude of me. Go way over here somewhere and shoot at him some. Anyway, it was kind of an amusing thing that I did that it was kind of annoying on my part, but I don't know. I don't like fireworks on the 4th of July either. I think they annoy everybody. Only tyrants would light them off in a residential area. I'm not getting a good line on this guy. That's alright, I'll let him one-on-one my buddy over there. He's not going to shoot at my friend. I'll just hang out behind this little thing here. He doesn't know what he's doing. This guy's on some kind of weird drug, man. I'm telling these pilots not to take these, you know, performance-enhancing drugs. It's bad for their robots. So the other thing I was going to talk about was jail. This is kind of reminding me of jail. You want me to go kill that guy? Here, let me show you how this is done. Show you how to kill a dude without hurting yourself too hard. Like that. That's how you do it. Then you park yourself behind a rock over here and you just let your drone hammer away at him for a second while your other ones recharge. That's how you do it. Now, you see, you're getting the idea. Good job. Shoot at him some more. What's he got, 500 meters on there? It's hard to say. Anywho, jail's a place you used to end up if you had bad connection issues. So if you were lagging out of a game or something enough, if you did it like 3 times in a row in just a few minutes or something, it would put you in this place that we call jail. And you could tell that you were in jail because there were only 2 pilots per AI, and all your opponents were AI. And I've told you about them before. You could finish each match in 2 minutes if you just grab a couple flags and just hammer away at everything with your best damage dealers, shotguns. You wanted to get the most damage so you could get the most silver, all that kind of stuff. These are what mine are looking like these days, these little robots. But I have more fun. It's more of a challenge. Anyway, the thing about being in there is you'd almost wanted to get put in there because it was so easy to make a lot of money really fast. You could make massive amounts of silver, and you could get 10 gold for every match because all you had to do was grab 2 flags, get the highest damage, and you could do that every match real easy. And you could finish each match within 2 to 3 minutes. So you could do 4 to 5 matches in the same 10 minutes it took to do a long match. Now, the matches on the bigger maps always took a little longer. Unless you had a Bushi, you could roll through there. And if you did, you were especially fortunate because you could zip around and kill everything. Everything was AI. It was all easy to kill. You could just, you know, downside wasn't the Bushi. You didn't get a lot of silver, but the fact that you could finish each match in 10 minutes meant that you'd got better silver doing 4 or 5 of those matches than you did doing one match in a Mantis with, you know, level 1 Mantis with high level weapons. Because you don't always get big bots to shoot at, and so you might get decent silver. Back then you got better silver exchange and that kind of stuff. A little bit. I stood out there in the fire too long. Anyway, I wasn't telling that story just to tell the story. I was telling it to make a point, and the point I'm trying to make is that you would spend weeks, maybe even sometimes months in there. The game was so screwed up at times that you just didn't want to play it anymore. That was where I wished I had the Hornets, man. The wasps. Having them all grouped up like that, I could have taken out 3 or 4 of those guys. Just find one in the middle and just shoot that one. Boom, now go kapoof. On to the point you were trying to make about jail, dude. Your skills would atrophy. I'd get out of jail, and because it was so damn easy to do all that stuff and win all those matches, I'd gotten really bad at playing the game. And that sort of sucked. Because I was good at playing the game, and I ended up in jail, and I had all these easy matches, and they were too easy, and next thing you know, I suck at the game because I haven't worked hard at it. So that's the other reason I think you're a sucky pilot if you're bringing a Bushi down here, and you're dropping in it. That's the thing that really gets me. I mean, if you're going to use a Bushi down here, at least save it for your last. I mean, if you're dropping in at last because it's 5 against 1, sure, I get that. I'd do that too, you know. Especially if I'd already brought in a Viking and, you know, a Ronin, and you knock me out of those, I'm going to bring the Bushi in because I want to win too, you know. But to drop in that first and then just start obliterating everything, you know, you can do that, and you don't need a Bushi to do it. See, I'm doing this crap in Hercules. And the most fun I've had in this game, almost in like recent times, has been me and Grimly, literally in these little Hercules, and he's running one with I think he had the 400-meter Gatlings. I forget what they call them. I'm pretty sure it was the 400 ones, which do better damage than the 600 ones. They just don't reach as far. But he had them out to 5 something with the purple mod. See how little damage those do if you don't let them build up. And so he was doing decent damage with it. Not great, but they were, I forget what level 9 or something like that. But between him and that and me and this, I got kind of a short range thing with the drone. I can stand behind something with this ghost drone and do decent damage to stuff. I love when everything's silhouetted behind the sun like that. It makes it so easy to target. See if I can get this guy. He was behind something. So the point I'm making ultimately is that if you're going to play that easy of a match, your skills aren't going to get any better. You got to be challenging yourself to some degree to get better, because otherwise you're just going to get worse. So if I see you dropping in a Bushi and you're on my team, chances are I'm just going to start practicing my targeting skills, my long-range scope skills on you. I'm just going to leave this guy alone because I've got a tradition of leaving the last guy if I know it's a human alone. If it's AI, I don't worry about it, but if it's a human, I can tell that's a human. AI doesn't act like that unless it's on drugs, and I think there is an AI drug. Rohu. There used to be one AI pilot, and we knew it was AI, but it had a name, so we weren't really sure. I think it was Rohu. But it was funny because you'd see the name on both teams, and sometimes you'd see the name twice on the same team. That was the trippiest thing. And I could never remember the name, but I think it was Rohu. Anyway, you have to ask the old pilots, and they probably don't remember either. We used to have a lot of fun with that. I think it was when they were first trying out the scheme of naming AI, and I bet there's just a file somewhere with names, and each name's on its own line, and it just randomly picks weird names off that list, because there's some really weird AI names I've seen. Anyway, they name AI, and players keep their player name. It's all very confusing. So that's all I really had to say tonight. I'm just going to record those two when we get about 15 minutes out of that. In the end, though, if you're dropping in anything that requires $4,000 to buy a module for at level 1, you're a sucky pilot, if that's your first robot. If you're using it at the end because you're outnumbered or whatever, you see something else of that nature coming in, by all means. But if you're dropping in it and you're not challenging yourself even a little bit, and I'm on your team, I'm going to shoot at you, and I'm going to annoy the crap out of you. And if you're on the other team, I may just quit out, because if I don't have anything that can win, if I'm on my account that's got robots that I can challenge you with, I'll probably stick around. But if I can't do that and I'm in my lowest account, I'll probably just quit out, wait a minute or two, and then jump into another one, hope I don't see you again. And if I end up on your team, I'm just going to shoot you in the back. So keep all that in mind. I know it's kind of an asshole thing to do, but really, dropping in those assholes at this bottom level is an asshole thing to do. So I'm just being that asshole back, I guess. Bring in little bots and you won't piss me off. That's all I'm saying. See you at the Beacon Pilots. Scrub on out.